When I was young, I believed successful people had something I didn't. I thought they never skipped workouts, never procrastinated, never wasted entire afternoons staring at a screen, never promised themselves, "I'll start tomorrow." I believed discipline meant never falling off track. So every time I missed a day, I treated it like proof that I wasn't meant for success. One missed workout became a missed week. One unhealthy meal became a weekend of bad eating. One late morning became, "I'll restart next Monday." For years, I lived like this. Not because I was lazy, because I believed every mistake erased all my progress. It took me almost 60 years to realize something embarrassingly simple. The people who build great lives don't avoid failure. They recover from it faster than everyone else. I learned this lesson from an old neighbor named George. George wasn't famous. He wasn't rich. But at 72, he walked every morning at 6 o'clock without fail. At least, that's what I thought. One rainy Tuesday, I looked outside. No George. The next day, there he was again. I asked him, "Yesterday was the first day I've never seen you walk. Weren't you worried about breaking your streak?" He laughed. Then he said something I'll never forget. "Son, I don't protect my streak. I protect my comeback." At the time, I didn't understand, so he explained. If I miss one day, that's life. If I miss 2 days, that's a decision. That sentence stayed with me for years, because I realized I had been measuring the wrong thing. I wasn't counting how quickly I got back up. I was counting how long I stayed perfect. And perfection is a terrible goal. Life doesn't care about your plans. You'll get sick, you'll oversleep, you'll have exams, work will pile up, family emergencies will happen. Some days you'll simply have no energy left. If your system only works on perfect days, it isn't a system, it's wishful thinking. That's when I stopped asking myself one question: how do I never fail? Instead, I started asking, how do I recover faster? That tiny change transformed everything. I made one rule. No matter what happened today, I had to return within the next 24 hours. Not next Monday, not next month, tomorrow. Some days, returning meant doing my full workout. Other days, returning meant 5 push-ups. And that's another lesson most people never hear. When life gets difficult, don't skip the habit. Shrink it. If you can't read 20 pages, read 1 page. If you can't study for 2 hours, study for 10 minutes. If you can't run 5 kilometers, walk around the block. People think these tiny actions don't matter. They're wrong. Because habits aren't built by intensity. They're built by repetition. Every small action tells your brain, "This is still who I am." You don't lose your identity because you had one bad day. You lose it when you stop showing up altogether. There's another mistake I made for decades. Every failure became a personal attack. I have no discipline. I'm lazy. I always quit. But failure isn't a character flaw. It's information. If I kept missing my morning workout, maybe waking up at 5 wasn't realistic for my life. If I always got distracted while studying, maybe the problem wasn't my focus. Maybe it was the phone sitting beside me. Successful people don't just work harder. They redesign their environment until success becomes easier. That was another lesson I learned far too late. Stop blaming yourself for every setback. Start investigating it instead. Ask yourself, what made today difficult? The answer is usually practical. Too little sleep, too many distractions, too many commitments, an unrealistic goal. Once you know the cause, you can fix it. And eventually, I stopped tracking streaks altogether. Instead, I tracked something else: recovery time. How quickly did I return after I slipped? 1 day? Good. 2 days? Still recoverable. A week? Now there's a pattern I need to address. That simple shift removed the guilt, because I stopped seeing failure as the end. It became part of the process. Looking back over 60 years, I can tell you this. The biggest lie I ever believed was that successful people never fall behind. They do. Every single one of them. The difference is, they don't stay there. So if you're trying to reset your life, don't promise yourself you'll never fail. Promise yourself you'll never stay down for long. Because your future won't be decided by the days you stumble. It will be decided by the days you choose to stand back up.